Hi, ég heiti Sarah. Gaman að kynnast þér. What I just said is, hello, my name is Sarah. It's nice to meet you in Icelandic. I have been wanting to learn Icelandic for a while. I have no ties whatsoever to Iceland, but I have always loved Iceland. I think it is such a beautiful country, and I love their culture. So recently I was able to check out an awesome box from the Reykjavík Grapevine, which is their language box. So you can actually get curated boxes on their site, depending on what you're wanting. So since I've been wanting to learn some Icelandic, this is a box that is curated just for me, full of wonderful books and workbooks to be able to learn Icelandic. They also have a lot of other fun things on their site, like food boxes, if you want to actually try some food from Iceland, which sounds really neat. So let's go ahead and open this up. I was just honestly excited because it came from Iceland. So, I mean, you don't normally get fun things from Iceland in the mail in America. So this is what it looks like inside. Thank you for shopping with the Reykjavík Grapevine. Your purchase helps fund our journalism. Thanks for keeping us real. And I have to say, they did package it with some newspaper, but inside they actually included a copy of the Reykjavík Grapevine for 2025. So I'm so excited. It's an Icelandic newspaper, but it's in English. So I'm really, really excited to check that out. So that is the first thing that was actually in there. So what else is in here, you might be wondering. I'm going to go ahead and show you everything that's in here. So we've got Iceland and icons. So it says, do you ever become overwhelmed by the long, complex words on Icelandic road signs and maps? If you take a closer look, you'll find that you can easily deconstruct these words. So this is actually really neat. This helps you break them down. And in learning Icelandic, it is really neat that you can break down words just sort of like English, like snowflake. You have snow and flake, and the same thing in Icelandic. So like the first part of snowflake is literally the word for snow. So it's actually really neat. So this is actually really cool, especially if you're going to go on a trip to Iceland. So the next one is actually completely in Icelandic. So this is definitely something that you would want to work up to. This, I believe, is little short stories, and I'm going to try to get a little bit closer so that you can see it. It looks like it's like sort of like little short stories here that are written in not extremely complex wording. So like once you learn a few of the words, you'll be able to understand some of this, and you might be able to just mark in the book if you want to say, oh, I know what that word is, so that you remember. Then that is how you would probably start with this book, but you would definitely need some sort of training before you get into this one. So the next one in here is the little book of Icelandic, and yes, it is a random picture on the front, a man in his underwear. This is the idiosyncrasies, delights, and sheer tyranny of the Icelandic language. So, and I did want to point this out, this to me is really neat. In Iceland, everybody's last name is basically dependent on who their father was. So, like, her name is Alda, and her last name is Sigmundsdóttir. So that means her father's name is Sigmund, because Dóttir is daughter in Icelandic. So that is so cool to me, especially because sometimes when you don't know like your ancestry, or you know, like maybe someone was adopted in your family, like my grandfather, he was adopted on my father's side, so we don't know who his parents were, and that would be so neat because you actually know at least their first name of who your kin is. So in this one, it looks like there's just a lot of different words, a lot of different terms that you can learn, like useful phrases. There might be some little stories in here, how to use it, how to use different words. There's probably like different words that you might not need to ever use in here, but like here, viruses, common viruses in Icelandic. So some of this you probably won't ever need to use, but this is still a really cute little thing. The next one is actually a CD, and this is Icelandic music, which is actually really neat. I don't have a CD player in my car anymore because it's too new, honestly. They don't even put CD players in cars anymore. So I do have a CD player here in the house, so I can listen to it here. And I'm not sure if this is instrumental or if it actually has wording in it. I'm going to assume that it has some wording and that it's easier words for you to actually understand once you learn a few things. And then the last things that I wanted to show you in here, which I'm really, really excited about, is learning Icelandic. These awesome workbooks, you guys. This first one is learning Icelandic, and it starts from the basis here. Literally, like your family, and how to say hello, my name is so-and-so, I am, how old I am. And this is a really in-depth workbook. So if you're wanting to learn Icelandic, this is such a good start, because just from the basic lessons that I've had on an app called Drops, where I've been learning like keywords in Icelandic, I can recognize some of these words already. So this is a really good start right here. And it's in English too, so you can actually read it in English. The instructions are in English, and then it helps you with the Icelandic. Now the next one is grammar exercises, and I believe that this one is completely in Icelandic, except for maybe like in the very beginning, number of nouns and adjectives, and then the rest of everything is literally in Icelandic. So you would want to start with the first one first, and then move into this one, unless you're doing them at the same time and they are going for like lesson 1, you do this one first, which has like the family, and then move into lesson 1 in this one. So that might be how you actually work this. But I'm really, really excited about these two. When I saw these two on their website, I could not wait to check these out. These looked so cool. So overall, everything in the box is amazing. I would highly suggest checking them out, especially if you're at all interested in learning Icelandic. I know it's not the typical language that you would really try to learn in today's world. Like, for instance, I learned French in high school, and I know bits and pieces of ASL. But for whatever reason, I am very drawn and pulled towards Icelandic. And I just think that it's a beautiful language. I think it's a beautiful country, and I just love absolutely everything about it. So if you have that draw and that want to learn about Iceland and to learn some of their language, I would highly suggest checking out the Reykjavík Grapevine for their curated language box. And like I said, everything that I got that you saw will come in your box, and this is a great start to be able to learn Icelandic in an easy, informal way. So if you're interested in it, I definitely tell you to check them out, because it is definitely well worth your time and your studies for everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and thank you so much.